Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I am joined by Jamie Phillips today. How are you, Jamie?
Good man, I'm back. I watched your UFC pay-per-view watch along the other day. Enjoyed it. Wish I was there, but yeah, I'm back now. I'm back, and we're going to do many more UFC
Yeah, many,
content.
many more. In this particular video today, we'll be predicting who is going to main event UFC 300 on the back of Dana White saying earlier this week that the main event will be announced this week. I think we were both talking about before that he said that people aren't going to believe what the main event's going to be.
That's what
But
you said a
before,
couple of hours ago.
yeah, a couple of hours ago. But before we get into that, make sure to hit the like button, share button, and subscribe button. Also, make sure to subscribe to Jamie Phillips Football Chats. The link will be in the title of the video as well. But yeah, Jamie, the main event for UFC 300 at the moment, it is Justin Gaethje versus Max Holloway for the BMF belt. That at the moment is the current main event. Obviously, that's not going to be the main event. When Dana goes, it's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. Who does he think? Because I have a list of potential main events we could see. Some are realistic, like the safe options. Some are going to be unrealistic. So, who do you think it's going to be? Who do you think Dana's gonna say is going to be the main event? Do you think?
Oh, so let's look at it. So we've had. It's all about the time frame as well because they've put on so many cards. We just had UFC 297, pretty shit card, but Strickland and DDP they just thought they're not going to be ready for 300 after that war they had, got battered up.
Yeah.
And
Despite both
then
of them saying that they could turn it around, but after seeing the fight injuries, you're like, no way. No way.
Volk is fighting at 298, so you can take him out of it. Paulo Costa, Robert Whittaker, they're fighting
Makachev
him then.
not even going to fight until June in
No.
Saudi, so he's out of the question.
And their other big star in Sean O'Malley's fighting at 299. So
Which is a super stacked card.
and 299 looks like better than 300 at the moment.
Yeah.
John Jones is injured.
Stipe
the
turned
other old
down Tom Aspinall at 300.
Tom Aspinall should be the fight. I don't think there's a fight that I'd want to see Aspinall. I don't want to see Aspinall fight anyone else but John Jones really right now. So that doesn't get me excited unless it's John Jones. So he ain't fighting. Stipe, as you said earlier, he rejected 300 because I don't know if he knows what year it is. I don't even know what day it is. Yeah, and then I'm trying to think of others. It's got to be, as you said, at the moment, the main event is Holloway Gaethje. For me, that main event's any pay-per-view in UFC history right now because they're superstars there. So it's got to be better in that fight. It's got to be a fight that goes, geez, that's the fight that's going to sell everyone. The main event's the one on the billboard, it's on the cover, it's on everything. So who is it? Is it a retired fighter coming back? Is it, look, I saw a rumor earlier about Brock Lesnar, maybe. He's been training. No one's seen him, apparently.
Brock versus Tom Aspinall, because
he's been training. But with the things that's come out about Brock today, I just don't think, TKO own WWE and UFC. It's an easy fight for Brock to come back and do, but TKO ain't going to want him anywhere near anything at the moment. So he's out the question.
And it's going to be a title fight. It's got to be a title fight.
It's got to be a title fight.
Connor's not on this card.
And the only other one's Conor McGregor, unless he's lied to everyone. Unless McGregor has just lied to it. Because the one thing, when McGregor did that funny video about him saying when he's going to fight, it's going to be International Fight Week, he had that laugh at the end.
185 pounds.
Dana White never mentioned anything. Has anyone noticed that? Dana White never replied to that thing about Conor McGregor. So is this whole play that McGregor actually main events 300?
Well, against who though? Because he'd have to fight for a belt, and you're looking at What? So is he gonna fight Islam? But we know Islam at the time of UFC 300, he'll be undertaking Ramadan. That's
Yeah,
why
no
he wants to
Ramadan fights
fight
go
in
far.
March,
Yeah.
unless you give him a welterweight title shot on his return, screws over Bilal Muhammad. Go, sorry, Bilal, mate. I know that he said you're training with Habib, but we'll part that to one side because McGregor's just duped everyone, and he said he's going to come back for 300. But
McGregor and Edwards.
yeah, but we said in the group chat, Edwards would kill him.
He
Like,
would. He would, but McGregor. He probably would, but McGregor has got that one shot. You know, that one shot knock, and he has got it in him even today. I tell you what, McGregor Edwards 170 title sells 300.
sells
Can you
300.
imagine the
Yeah,
press if he later tonight? Because we've got to remember Vegas time as well.
yeah.
You know, it'd be about 2 or 3 in the morning when he announces it. So it'd be Friday for us.
Yeah, so this video
So
will be up before he even makes the announcement because I've got a feeling because we're recording this at 11:15 UK time on the Thursday. I believe he's going to make the announcement about 3 a.m. on Friday, and I'll be asleep. So, so I have a feeling that's when he's going to make the announcement. So I've got a list. I've got a list because I do believe that there'll be a few fighters that they are looking at. So the obvious one, the one that's been rumored for quite a while, since UFC 296, is Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. Yes, I know people are going to go, oh, that's not really the fight, to sell UFC 300. But if you ask Dana, UFC 300 in his eyes sells itself because it's UFC 300.
I think it does.
However, I believe if you really, really want to sell it, you get Alex Pereira, who says he wants to be an active champion at light heavyweight. He said he's not going to wait around for Jamal Hill if he's out injured. And Izzy says that, he's back in the gym, he's back training, he's not going to take until 2027 off. You run back the trilogy at light heavyweight, give Izzy a second shot at the belt at light heavyweight. Yes, I know the fans would say he doesn't deserve it because he's not won a fight at light heavyweight. But you're probably talking about the biggest super fight left. Well, one of the biggest fights left that is currently available on the table.
It makes sense, doesn't it? You know, Pereira is well rested since he's fought and barely broke a sweat anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
broke a sweat.
so that makes the time frame for Pereira to fight and Izzy to fight completely makes sense. Now Izzy's
Or
it makes perfect sense. Or you just go Pereira goes up to heavyweight and fights.
Tom Aspinall, yeah, that was rumored. I think it was more like Aspinall and no, I think it was more Pereira teasing it, and Dana was like, "Yeah, don't like the
Well,
idea."
I've said it, ain't I? I've said it. I think Pereira might be the first 3 different weight division champion in UFC history. It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah,
He could do it in less than 10 fights. He could just go up.
it'd be
I mean,
crazy.
could you imagine if Pereira puts just on 20 pounds of muscle? That's the scariest man in the world.
I think out of camp, Jamie. I think he's 236 out of camp.
Yeah, so he's everyweight. He can fight everyweight.
Which is crazy, but I do think also other contenders it could be Pereira versus Ankalaev. We know that Ankalaev got a very quick knockout win over Johnny Walker on the first event of the year, and Ankalaev was pretty vocal saying that he could make a quick turnaround if asked. Which, yes, it's a good fight on paper, but for that to headline, I would say it's arguably your biggest card of the year.
It's the biggest
Barring
card of all
McGregor's
time for him.
return, this is one of your big cards of the year. Obviously, you've got UFC 299 that's probably going to run it pretty close as well. And also another option that is being rumored as well is you make Duplessis turn around for UFC 300 and make him fight Izzy. Because
Yeah, that's got so much potential to be.
Because they've got potential. They've been, feuding back and forward and stuff like that. And when Izzy got into the octagon after Duplessis knocked out Robert Whittaker, and and stuff
Izzy
like
wants
that.
it.
And Izzy wants it. Does Izzy deserve it? No, he doesn't, because he should fight someone before fighting for the belt. Someone like a Hamzat Chimaev, who, you know, he's been a bit chirpy recently. He's calling out everyone that's become a champion, but he's not actually deserved it at all. I'm surprised he didn't call out Raquel Pennington after she won her belt, saying, "I'll see you soon."
I think Hamzat's highly overrated. With Izzy, Izzy's just a superstar. He's an absolute superstar. He is this day and age, this generation's Anderson Silva for me. That's what Izzy is. And if Izzy wants to do it, Izzy and DDP, if he could, you know, if that turnaround, just under 4 months,
pretty
if
big.
he can do it, I don't know. But usually they suspend them for 4 months, don't they, through injury to get better. So
yes, 3 months. But Duplessis, he took the smart decision when the UFC were trying to turn him round for Australia. He went, "No, I need to heal from this injury to make sure I'm 100%."
Yeah,
That's why Sean Strickland got the opportunity. Another one, this one's the one that's probably not gonna happen. I've put down Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. Are the UFC gonna rush him back to say that you need to fight him here, or you're not gonna get the belt? And the other one is Rumbat Duplessis versus Strickland, because it was a very close fight. People thought that Strickland retained the belt, like me and Callum said on Combat Catch Up the other day. Make sure to check that video out, where both me and him agreed that we thought Strickland successfully defended his belt. I thought Strickland won round 2, which was the round that sort of decided the fight. I knew other people thought Duplessis, won the belt. I don't see it personally, but there is grounds to run back a rematch. Something that I don't particularly like, that you get an automatic rematch, unless you've either had a long title reign or it's a tight split decision like this was.
Yeah,
but that's probably at the bottom of the pile, along with Pereira, Jamal Hill.
Well, let me read this out for you. So Dana White says here, and this is 2 hours ago. So fans won't be able to handle the crazy UFC 300 main event. Dana White teases fans once again. Despite numerous announcements, the UFC pay-per-view, the main event still under wraps. Fans and pundits are left rumbling on the possibilities of matchups, and UFC CEO Dana White assures everybody that it's going to be crazy. It sounds like Conor to me. It just...
They're going to give him the welterweight title shot, because that's the only champion that he could,
Or it's Nate Diaz trilogy.
But I swear Dana said, like, a while ago that he wants, like, a belt to be defended. Like,
the thing is, though, if Conor's on the show, Conor's the main event. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's why, because, to be honest,
Conor can't be the undercard.
He can't be the undercard.
He's worth too much money. You can't put that much money in Conor McGregor and not have him as the main event. That's the problem. So
yeah, or I don't think this card really needs, in the UFC's eye. Does this card desperately need him? No, because it is UFC 300. International Fight Week would make sense, because John Jones ain't going to be back for International Fight Week. He's not going to be back till the back end of the year, and even I'm skeptical, like in my prediction video, that he's even going to fight this year. I think this fight is going to be, this fight will get done soon, but it will never get done, and Tom Aspinall will just be like, given
International Fight Week.
That should not be happening, because how should Tom Aspinall be defending against a guy that Aspinall went to his home country, called him out, and Gunn went no, but the second the belt's wrapped around his waist, then you want the title shot? No.
It's the fight Dana White wants. He wants Gunn. It's Aspinall stopping that fight happening, because he wants John Jones, and he's right. No, Aspinall's right. I've never seen someone who's the champion not fight the champion when,
because he wants to give him a little layup before he leaves, because that's a double retirement right there.
I think they'll make it. Look, with the 300 card, right? The thing with, I know what Dana White's saying, because UFC is a massive business now, yeah. But if I look at it like this, if I go wrestling terms, wrestling has a pay-per-view every month, the same as UFC does.
Mm.
But Mania has the special main events. Mania sells itself because it's Mania, but you still have the special main event, the once in a lifetime main event at Mania, right? UFC, I think, is exactly the same. They're in the same kind of business, and that's why wrestling and MMA have a lot of crossover. I don't know why I don't like that, but it does. And when I look at UFC, I think, right, UFC debut in Madison Square Garden, they needed Conor to sell it. They could have sold UFC at Madison Square Garden for the first time without any superstar, but it was Conor McGregor who came in, not 200, it 201, wasn't it, or something like that,
199.
at
Oh, no,
Madison Square
205.
Garden. Yeah,
205.
at Madison Square Garden, and fought Eddie Alvarez in the main event, become a double champion, and so he needed that. Had more eyes. You want eyes on these special shows because there might be people who used to watch UFC and they're, oh, it's their 300th show. I'll come back and watch. You know, it's their 300th anniversary. It's their 300th show. This is going to be special. I'll come back and watch. And you're seeing, oh my God, this guy's fighting. Oh my word, I've got to tune in for it. If they say it's Bilal Edwards as the main event, people go, who the fudge is Bilal and Edwards? You know, it's not.
There's no disrespect.
It might sound, but it's more of a hardcore fan main event. You know what I mean? And I think 300 does need the 100. If you look at 100 and 200, let's go through the pay-per-views. Them two pay-per-views.
Look who headlined 200.
Superstars.
Who headlined 200?
I can't remember. It was Amanda Nunes, wasn't it?
Yeah, Amanda Nunes.
Brock Lesnar was a superstar on the
yeah,
thing,
but
wasn't
Brock Lesnar wasn't main event, and he was on the card.
Yeah, he was on the card.
But, so like the main event wasn't the eye catcher. Everyone thought it was, because also on that card, I think you had DC versus Anderson Silva.
Yeah, so you had a packed card with superstars on it. That's the thing. So you still tuned in. I mean, DC Anderson Silva, Brock Lesnar, Mark Hunt. And if I remember rightly, a lot of people tuned out of the main event because they thought the Brock match was the main event.
Yeah.
And a lot of people tuned out the main event.
The model's changed now. Like, I mentioned this to Callum on the Combat Catch-Up show, that I believe that after the whole Conor McGregor thing, yes, the UFC want a new star, but they want a star they can control, because towards the end, they couldn't control Conor. They built a monster that they can't control, and yet they still can't control to try and drag him back. So when you look at your Izzy's, your Sean's, yes, they are big stars, but it's stars that the UFC can sort of got a leash on them, sort of thing. And I think with the way the contracts have worked out with the UFC and ESPN, there is not as big a need to sell pay-per-views like it was literally 5-6 years ago. Because now I think with their ESPN deal, they get paid every year that you have to put on a minimum of like 52 events a year or something like that. So I think it has changed. I don't do you know what? Like, the safest bet, it's going to be an underwhelming main event. And when was the last time Dana hyped something up for us to go, what? You hype up for that? Like, Dana has been a bit of a party pooper when it's come to announcements. So,
well, let me put this to you here. So I'm just reading here. So apparently UFC fans have been trashing a recently announced UFC 300 fight. People are saying it's the toilet break. Right, and that's the Kayla Harrison and thingy for Holly Holm fight, yeah. So they think that's a toilet break fight, right? Which is very disrespectful. But again, it's because it's hardcore fans like ourselves will look forward for that fight and see Kyle Harrison. The casual fan might know of her and Holly Holm, but it's like on the 300 card. That's the thing. I don't know if Dana cares about the casual fan base.
No, no. Dana's a casual. Dana,
I mean, Dana's a casual.
He's only after money fights.
It's all about doing that now. But it's and I just got. It's got to have something like when 300 is coming up in like February and March, and they're promoting it heavily on ESPN and all the sport networks and all that, and over here, they're gonna be thrown at what the main event is. You're gonna be watching 300 because so and so in the main event, and your eyes are whoa. And then the undercard is like you got the first ever time, I think it's a Chinese, all female Chinese title fight. You've got to watch that. You know, you got Poirier, Gaethje and Holloway. You've got to watch that for the BMF belt. It's going to be amazing. You got the potential of The Rock being there because he's a director now for TKO. So you got a potential of he being there with the BMF belt because he gave it to the first time. You got all these things that could happen at this card, but the main event's what's going to have to drag you in. And if it's Bilal Edwards, it ain't dragging in casuals. It's dragging in the hardcores. It's not dragging in casuals.
It's
now Edwards Connor.
Yeah, if it's Edwards Connor, I cannot see that happening. I cannot.
No, I think it will be.
I cannot see that happening because I don't know how the UFC's new drug testing policy works. I don't know if I don't know what's going on.
I don't know if you've seen lately, right? So TKO obviously own both, don't they? And certain WWE wrestlers have come back from injury lately since TKO have come back looking yoked. Yeah. Even AJ Styles is like a mini Brock Lesnar now, right?
Jeez. Right.
You know, they're all under the TKO banner. So I think they just want, it's the Brock thing. I wonder if it was meant to be Brock, you know, but with these allegations now that maybe they've had to change
I've seen it's not Brock, but hey ho, like whatever happens.
We're not
going to touch into details about that because those allegations are horrific.
Oh man, they're just
those are horrific. For
that be a special guys.
Place saved in hell for both of those men.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, who do you think the main event for UFC 300 is going to be?
It's a certain Ronda Rousey that hasn't been mentioned.
Nah. What, Raquel Pennington, Ronda Rousey?
Ronda Rousey, Mackenzie Dern. I don't know. I don't know. This is a tough one because Edwards Bilal, I think, is a very obvious one you could make right now. And you said we'd watch it, it'd be an exciting fight, but my mate who's a casual, he'd be just tell me what happens.
I've got two, and they both involve one man.
I think Pereira will main event. I think Alexis. I just want to see Pereira fight, man. He barely fought. Islam Hamzat. I don't know a fight for Hamzat at this moment in time that gets me going. To be fair,
well, Hamzat would main event because it's not for a belt. You're not going to give him a title shot.
So he ain't. And then Islam, who would he fight?
He said he's going to fight the winner of Charles and Sarukian at the 300 card in June.
Yeah, and Charles is fighting at 300 already, so Islam's not going to fight that. So he's waiting for the Charles fight probably. So he's either it's going to either be Izzy or Pereira, or someone comes back from the wilderness.
I'm going to push you, Jamie. Who do you think it's going to be?
I think it'd be Pereira, Izzy.
Oh damn! Why don't Nick my one? That's been.
I'm going to take it because it's the only one that makes sense because of the time frame.
Yeah. I think obviously that is my number one pick. I do believe that Izzy's had talks with the UFC, and I wonder if that's going to be the fight. Pereira's not. He literally said to Israel Adesanya, "Hey, come to daddy." So he's already, made that call out. But I'm going to go different. I do believe it will be Israel Adesanya versus Dricus du Plessis at UFC 300. I think they're going to make him do a quick turnaround like the UFC made Aljamain Sterling do a quick turnaround against Sean O'Malley.
Are you telling me they want to get the belt back on Izzy as quick as possible?
I cannot confirm or deny if that's the case, but stranger things have happened. But
Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that fight alone does go down the crazy, as Dana says, as he quotes it, crazy fight you won't believe, because the build up to that fight would be amazing.
yeah, and plus it's going to be crazy because you're thinking, how's Drickus going to get over the eye injury that he sustained?
Well,
Unless they're going to give him some good stuff,
well,
maybe.
Dana did say last time we had the injury, they should have gone to him first because they would have done the plastic surgery under the cut. So maybe that's what they're going
Yeah,
to do.
maybe. But Jamie, a massive pleasure. Thanks for joining me for
Big
this
up, man.
show.
Looking forward to it.
Everyone, make sure to hit the like button, share button, and subscribe button. Make sure to my mind just went blank. Make sure to subscribe to Jamie's channel, Jamie Phillips Football Chats, in the link in the title. Jamie, absolute pleasure. Thanks for joining.
Appreciate
Can you
that.
let the people know where to find you?
Yeah, man. So yeah, you can find me at Jamie Phillips Football Chats and at Chats Jamie on Twitter. Yeah, that's the one. So yeah, find me
We
there
got
as
there
well.
at the end. And I make sure to follow my Twitter. The handle's literally just underneath at Luke Tanner 257. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you all very soon.